Big love to my dog, It's Hidden Leaf, for coming through and sponsoring your boy on the Patreon. Anyone else who wants to join the team, receive exclusive daily content, interact with the YB, patreon.com/the YB, link in the description. Wow, your boy Dillian, the Deontay Wilder cheek buster, White, has once again mugged off to cheek bustee. Listen, Deontay Wilder is a cheek bustee. Listen, if Deontay Wilder ever steps in the ring with Dillian White, he will win. Don't get me wrong. I'll give Wilder credit. Deontay Wilder will win an award if he dares get in the ring with Dillian White. He will win the Cheek Bustee of the Month award. I'll tell you that for free. The way Deontay Wilder is going to take the cheek busting from Dillian White, he will win that award hands down. And I'll come on there and make a video about it. I'm all for giving people respect, yeah? Yeah? If Deontay Wilder takes his cheek busting like a champion, I'll come on there and say, listen, fair play. Whilst I've been somewhat critical of Wilder, he did, when it came to it, when Dillian White bent him over the ropes, he took his cheek busting like a champion. You have to take your after them characters, yeah? Anyone who's willing to take their cheek busting like a warrior, you have to give him respect for that. My problem with Wilder is he's got a few cheek bustings coming to him. AJ, chief cheek buster, yeah? Dillian White, chief cheek buster. Yeah, Duke Daniel Dubois, chief cheek buster. Yeah, who else we got? Usyk, general cheek buster. How many more? All these people you don't want no parts of. Klitschko, the Van Ness cheek buster. Yeah, well, I don't want no parts of none of them. Anyone with any snap in their shots, he don't want none of. And Dillian White's sick of it, as are all of we. We're sick of sitting here waiting. Oh man, I'm the best. I'm fighting Louis 90-year-old Ortiz. I'm fighting a man I've already knocked out 5 times. All of his goofy fans. Oh, man, Deontay Wilder, he's showing time and time again. He the best champion in the world. Man, he fought Dominic Brazil. Man, Anthony Joshua already knocked him out in devastating fashion. Anthony Joshua already edited his genes. All the kind of goofy stuff. To be honest, I'm not sure who's worse. The Wilder Fangirls or Wilder himself, they work hand in hand. They're hella goofy looking dudes as well. These 50-year-old characters, 60-year-old men posting up, cheerleading. Wilder's the most feared in the division. What has he done, seriously? What has he done to be the most feared? When Mike Tyson was knocking out lineal champions, Michael Spinks, when he was knocking out all-time greats, people who have never been stopped before, in Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was old. He wasn't as old as Luis Ortiz. Wait, let's get it right. Luis Ortiz, even if you go by his made up age of 40 years old, well, people give him Wilder credit, yeah. This makes me laugh. People who tell you, yeah, that Mike Tyson knocking out Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was finished. Larry Holmes was old. Even though he'd never been stopped, even though he fought after the Mike Tyson fight and still never was stopped. And he fought some pretty good people as well after he got stopped by Mike Tyson. Even though he was only ever stopped in his career once, he was old at 37 or 38, whatever it was, one of them two ages. But yet, Wilder goes in there with a man, never mind, Larry Holmes was former lineal, yeah? Never mind former lineal. Wilder goes in there with a man who never won a world title, never went anywhere near a world title, never beat no one, knocks him out and he's meant to, man, he the boogeyman. Wilder fought the boogeyman. The boogeyman. The boogeyman that AJ begged to fight. That boogeyman, you mean? The boogeyman that Dillian White sent a headlining contract to, a pay-per-view headlining contract to. That boogeyman. The boogeyman that gets loads of offers, but all of a sudden goes quiet. The minute AJ sent the offer, the minute Dillian White sent the offer, people talking about, what was he saying again? What was it? I forgot now what it was. What was it? Back in April time, when Jarrell Pig Babe Miller dropped out. I forgot what the excuse was, but it was something like, and that was it. His trainer came out and said, Eddie Hearn lied. And then what happened? That's what it was. Luis Ortiz, the so-called boogeyman trainer, came out and said, "Oh, Eddie Hearn lied." Then Eddie Hearn said, "I'm going to release a text." All of a sudden, what happened then? "Oh, we sorry. Oh, we sorry, Eddie. Eddie weren't lying. Please don't expose me, Eddie." Man started backtracking, crying about it. "Oh, it was started making this big long story up. Oh, well, it wasn't it was the promoter and the manager and oh, it was this and it was that, giving us some life story about why it couldn't happen, some mad life story." And instead, he chose to fight Wilder for like 10% of the money. Complete madness. That boogeyman. The boogeyman who turned down his career record pay multiple times over. That boogeyman. Real boogeyman there. The only boogeyman I know who never beat no one. And that's the cat who people will rant and rave about. Useless. But I guess that's what you got to do. When you're a fangirl, you almost have to big up what your fighter does. And people say I'm a fangirl. Listen, if AJ starts fighting rematches of people he's already beat and they've done nothing since, like as an example, people can say, "Oh well, YB, you call for AJ versus Dillian White." The difference is, unlike when Wilder fought Ortiz again, he'd literally done nothing. In fact, he had done something. Ortiz looked better before Wilder beat him the first time. Listen, what I'm saying is, when Wilder fought Ortiz the first time, he was number 1 defeated and number 2 looking alright. He didn't look great, but he looked alright. Wilder fought him the second time, after what? After he went life and death with Christine Hammer. I.e., he showed no improvement. Whereas AJ versus Dillian White, yeah, AJ won the first time. Dillian White, in my opinion, wasn't his best. And also, he's improved since then. See what I mean? Dillian White has earned, not by sitting around, hanging around, begging for fights. He's earned the right to say, "You know what? You beat me the first time. Let's run it back now because I've done A, B, C, D. Beat Chisora. Well, I think the first fight was a draw, but beat Chisora the second time convincingly. Simple. Beat Rivas. And not only is Dillian White's... What's the word? Not only is Dillian White's resume up there, also, it's not only about resume, it's about people's willingness to fight. Dillian White, his willingness to fight is up there. I'd say it's up there. I wouldn't put it as high as AJ's, but it's up there. He wants to fight. He wants to fight. Simple as that. He's looking for the best fights. He wants to feel the best fights. Simple. There ain't no one else doing that. I'm sorry, there ain't. Fury got offered loads of fights. Tony Bellend, Dillian White got offered AJ, didn't want it. Wanted to fight for stiffs. Wilder offered all the same kind of fights. Didn't want it. Wants to fight random people no one's ever heard of. And I'm sorry, it's getting to the point now where, well, it's getting past the point of fun and games now. How long do we have to keep talking about these things? Next thing you know, Wilder versus Fury has a rematch clause built in, which writes off Wilder's 2020. Like, what's that about? Who wants to even say... I'm not being funny, I'm being honest, I'm hand on my heart. I'll take the fight, Fury versus Wilder 2. It's better than Fury versus... it's better than Fury versus Schwartz and Wilder versus Brazil. But it's not what we really want to see. I'd rather see Dillian White. I want to see Wilder in there. I want to see Wilder defend his titles against someone who can actually give him something back. Not just going in there with helpless heavy bags. I hate to say it, they are essentially helpless heavy bags. They can't do it. They haven't got no power themselves. They're not athletes. They're not. Show me what athlete. Don't bring up Ortiz. Ortiz is old. Ortiz is old and has never knocked anyone out. Who has he knocked out? Seriously. Who has Luis Ortiz ever knocked out? Please tell me. I haven't seen him knock anyone out. Never. No good. No one. No one at all. Maybe back in his early days when he was fighting in Jack Johnson's era, maybe he knocked some people out then. But in the last decade, he ain't been knocked no one out. No one at all. And that's his number 1 win. Wilder. You stop talking a good game and start getting in there. Actually want the smoke. Actually want to prove yourself. And it's weird. These fans are weird. These fans are hella goofy looking. They actually believe what they're saying. Oh, man. Oh. Wilder. Wilder is the... Crazy. People actually say this. Listen, Wilder's fans actually be saying this kind of stuff. Oh, man, Wilder. Hopefully in the future... Dillian White and AJ can prove themselves, or we know for a fact Deontay Wilder wants to fight. He'll hopefully in the future. They're literally like they've got some sort of illness. which has them thinking in opposites. It's mental. Anyway, the last thing I'll say, Wilder, the bottom line is for you, yeah. The reason you don't want Dillian White is because you know that he's going to be working on negating the right hand and banging the left hook. And that's what you're scared of. If you're scared of Dillian White treating you like Kovalev got treated against Canelo, yeah? You're scared of Dillian White banging the left hook every time you've mustered the courage to throw the right hand. And you know at that point you'll be finished then. Because the minute you felt a few left hooks with your leaky guard and you've had your Eritrean chin buzzed, you ain't gonna want it no more. You ain't gonna want it. And I honestly see Dillian White doing Wilder the same. Sorry, Dillian White doing Wilder the same way Canelo did Kovalev. They both got the same right hand. The big crusher got the same right hand, same kind of style. That jabby right hand kind of style. That's what I see happening. And I see Wilder being in trouble. You see the way he's trainer Mark Breland was running out of the corner in the Tyson Fury fight. Yeah, Wilder's team lost their SHIT against a man with no power in Fury, shot to pieces. Fury shot to pieces, and Wilder's team lost their head against him. What do you think is going to happen when Wilder's been on his back with his eyes rolled in his head in round 3? What do you think is going to happen then? Your team was panicking against Fury. What do you think is going to happen? Seriously, when you're on your back, what happens then? Yeah.